Okay, let's finish up number 18 here. This one, they give us a piecewise function that has 3 sections. When x is less than a negative 3, when x is equal to negative 3, or when x is greater than negative 3. So let's see if we can draw this. Okay, and at negative 3 is where everything's happening, so we'll go ahead and mark that off on our graph. And first of all, the top rule, it's just equal to x, so that's just a straight line when x is less than a negative 3. So if I plug in a negative 3 for x, my y value of course is a negative 3 also, and it's going to be an open circle at that spot, and it's going to be going back in this direction. Okay, and then there's a point when x is equal to negative 3, it's equal to a half. So if that's 1 on the graph, then a half would be, say, right about here. And that takes care of the second one. And the third one is a negative square root of x plus 3 minus 1. Just a little refresher. Square root function normally starts off at the origin. If it's just the parent function, the square root of x, and anything inside of the square root with x basically is just going to cause it to do a horizontal shift. So a plus 3 inside of there would shift it to the left, because x plus 3 set it equal to 0 and x equals negative 3. That tells me where I would go on the x-axis, slide over to the left 3. But I'm not going to graph it on the origin because it also has a what? It has this minus 1 right here. So that's going to be a vertical shift down 1 unit. So we're going to go over 3 and down 1, and we shall put an open circle right there. Alright, that takes care of this horizontal and the vertical shift. But what about this most key important element here, this minus sign right in front? Well, that just causes a reflection. So the opposite square root of x would be bent over in that fashion. So let's go ahead and draw that graph, and then we can answer our limit questions. So perhaps it looks something like this. Okay, let me erase some of my markings here. Alright, let's answer the question. The first question says, what is the limit as x approaches negative 3 from the left? So negative 3 from the left would be coming up in this direction, and when we approach negative 3 from the left, that equals negative 3. So there's the negative 3. And when I approach it from the right hand side, which is what they're asking us in the second question, from the right hand side, we're coming up, approaching it on the green curve. And that equals a negative 1. So what can we say about the limit in general? Does the left hand side equal the right hand side? And the answer is obviously not. So by definition, the limit does not exist. But what about this last question? What is the function value at negative 3? Not the limit, but the function value. Well, you just go back to the piecewise. At negative 3, it's equal to that 0.5. So that answers that question. And I hope that helps you with the last part of your review. And we'll be testing tomorrow. So study hard. Say goodnight, Lyle.
Good night.
Say it loud.
Good night.